John, you obviously didn't hold back post Central Coast Mariners game. You apologised to fans. You said that was the worst performance you've seen since you've been at the club, calling it unacceptable. I guess, what have you done since to, whether it's what have you said, what have you done in training to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, no, we've worked on how we're going to react from that, and from that performance, and from, I spoke about just competing, and sometimes people like to talk about tactics and players playing in certain positions and doing certain things and whatever else, but the basic stuff comes into play a lot of the time. Is competing first, and winning your individual battles, and then as a group, and then the football will take care of itself after that, because we know that we've got a good side with a lot of good players, and we can play some really good football, but first and foremost we have to compete, and that's what I was upset about after the game, because we gave them 3 goals. There's going to be games that you're not going to be at your best, and you're going to get dominated for certain periods. That happens to the best teams in the world, but not to give away 3 goals like we did, and then it becomes a difficult situation. But we've pushed that aside, and now we're just focused on the game tomorrow night, which we're looking forward to.
I think also you said post game that you made some changes at half time and that you would have changed all 11 of them if you could at half time. Does that augur a significantly changed lineup for this weekend?
Well, look, we'll make changes. How many changes we can make. We haven't got that many in our squad, so it's a little bit difficult. And also, we've got a very young squad and young side. So we have to be careful of who we put out there, and how they're looking, and are they going to deal with the moment of the situation. So look, the reason why with Daniel Pena took him off, nothing to do with his ability or anything like that, is that he's been out for a year, and so he's going to have his ups and downs during that period physically. So he looks good this week. He's feeling good this week. I just noticed during the game that he looked heavy. He looked like he couldn't run, and when you can't run and you're not feeling good, you don't think the same. So that was the reason why I took him off, and so we'll make changes, and hopefully the ones that come in do really well.
And I won't beat around the bush, John. It's 6 games in a row we've lost. I'm sure you've seen the commentary. Do you feel like your job is under threat this Friday if you don't get a win?
No, I don't think it's under threat, because I know what's happening within the football club. The results are one thing. Of course, we're not happy with the results, but at this football club where we're building, and we're excited about where we're at in terms of where we're going to get to. I don't see the pressure. I see that opportunity, and for me, it's about opportunity this week on Friday, but also the whole rest of the season. And I've had to deal with certain situations, not only in football but in my life in general. So when difficult moments come, it's you can either hide or feel down about the situation, or lift yourself up and work through that, and then that's what we'll do, and that's what I'm doing. But we're all in it together. That's the thing. We're all in this together. And I'll cop the brunt because I'm at the head. I don't listen to the commentary, because a lot of the commentary, I respect them because they have to make comment, but they don't know the ins and outs, and a lot of them haven't been head coaches before. So I respect them because I worked in media. I know what it's like. I know that they have to make comment. Sometimes the commentary can come just because of the results, and so I accept that.
Before I dive into the Roar game, Marco, did you want to ask anything?
Yeah, John, how you going?
Good. How you going, Marco?
Good, mate. Just, you mentioned it before about going up against Ross. What's that going to be like on the sidelines?
I think it'll be fine. I think that both of us are focused on our own teams and doing well for our own clubs. So with I don't think that we'll have much of a conversation during the game. But I spoke to him yesterday morning. He seemed pretty good. He was just seeing how I was, and then I'm pretty sure that will be a brief conversation after the game, because one of us will be either happy or the other one might not be. So we leave each other until we calm down, and then we'll chat again. But I don't know what it's going to be like for my family. Watching the game. You'd think that they'd be proud, to see both their sons, coaching against each other in the top division in Australia. But I spoke to my dad yesterday, and he's got his Christmas party on during the game, so I don't know how proud he is.
You said you spoke to Ross yesterday. You've been speaking much during the season, or not?
A
Or
little,
not too much.
a little bit, yeah, no, a little bit. No, not every day, but it's a little bit difficult. We don't give each other too much in terms of what's going on and what our strengths and weaknesses are. I think we both analyse each other enough, and but opposition. It's not only my brother's team. I analyse every team, so we know each other pretty well. We know how we coach, how we like our teams to play. So it'll be an entertaining game, that's for sure.
And you sort of hinted before when you were asked about the results of Western United, what you're dealing with off the field. I guess you know what it's like here in terms of the off the field stuff and the resources that the coach of the Roar has to put up with. Are you happy with the way Ross has done? Are you sort of proud of him almost?
Yeah, I am proud of him. Look, Ross knew what he was getting into before he moved there, because he was with me for quite a period there, and of course he's gone in there and changed things straight away, which has been really good for the playing group and the club itself. And going back to Suncorp is also a big plus for them, and it helps them, and they're playing some really good football and getting the results. So I'm proud of what he's doing. I always knew that he had the capacity to be a great coach, because that's why I brought him in to be my assistant when I was at Brisbane Roar.
And you said about the Roar, going back to Suncorp. Is it good that you guys are back at Amy Park tomorrow night after those few games at Ballarat and then away last week?
Yeah, we're looking forward to going back to Amy. We performed there. We'll perform well there in round one against Melbourne City. So the players like playing there, and we're happy that we're back there, and looking forward to a good game. Hopefully. Oh, there he is. Marco, you didn't tell me.
He just came there. No, he didn't hear your answer about how well he's doing.
Oh yeah, he's the best coach in the league. Huh? Is that what he wanted me to say?
Oh no. So yeah, all good. Sorry about that. He just walked over to me.
He knew I was going to be pumping him up. That's why.
And mate, yeah. Any sort of main threats for the Raw that you can see going into this game?
Oh, main threats. Oh, they've got a lot of threats. Look, Jay O'Shea's been outstanding for them. He's if not one of the best players in the league, he's very close to it, because he's one player that we have to make sure that we don't give him time on the ball, because he can make things happen. They've got experience, with Aldred and Jack Hinger at the back. And then you've got Miliuznic, who's doing really well for him this season. Waddingham, who's a great young player. Berenguer, if he's able to play, also we know what he's capable of doing. So they've got a lot of threats going all over the pitch. They play quick. They play quick going forward. So we have to be at our best to get the result.
All right, thanks, Johnny.
Thanks, Marco.
Go to this other one now.
All right, no problem.
All good.
See you, Marco.
See ya.
Oh, just you and me now, John. I wanted to ask, you talked about the goals you gave, or 3 goals you gave away against the Mariners. I'm guessing you're referring to the corners.
Yeah.
You conceded from the 3 set pieces. Obviously, 3 goals from corners in one game isn't good enough. What have you been doing to try to address that? Is that a matter of just effort, as you said? Is it something organisationally broke down? What happened?
Oh, we work on it, obviously, and work on how Brisbane might want to exploit, the way that we set up on corners, and try and make sure that we nullify that. And it is a lot of the time it's just attacking that ball. You attack the ball. If you attack the ball, then it doesn't matter how big they are next to you. that we use the actual like if I had to stand in the box against the biggest striker in the world and they cross 20 balls, I'd make it difficult for him because it's just you against him, and that should be what it's like on corners. It's just whether you're man marking or going zonal, you attack that ball and don't let that player have a free header, and that's something that we spoke about, and the boys know. The week before they defended really well against Wellington, who are a big team, and so we expect them to defend like that again.
You talked about Daniel Pena, and you take him off, obviously, but you've been playing him on the wing this season. When he was in the Jets, getting all those assists, he was playing in a more central role. Have you given any consideration to switching things around to get him inside, or are you happy with him on the wing?
No, he hasn't been playing on the wing. He's been playing inside. That sometimes he drifts out. Drifts out wide and drifts out inside. So, and if we scored all those goals that he set up against Wellington and Adelaide, he would have so many assists. So we've been happy with the way Daniel's been playing. Against the Mariners, we weren't good as a group, and so that had nothing to do with where Daniel plays. I understand people question, because the results aren't there. But if they watch the games and watch it closely, they would see, that Daniel is inside a lot of the time, and but that's part of it. When you're not getting results, people will question you.
Because I'm going to ask you again. I've asked you this throughout the weeks, but you're finishing you're not looking at the XG stats for the league. You're still down low, but still you're massively underperforming that. Even with the amount you're creating, I think your XG's 8.3, but you've only scored 3 goals, one of them from a penalty. How do you improve the finishing? Because it's obviously dragging you down at this point.
Yeah, look, we have to work through it. We got young players up top. The oldest player is Lockie Wales is 25. We've got Noel Botic is 21, Michael Roos is 21, Rami Nazarini is 23. Riku Denzaki, I think, is 23. Pena's 24. So Angus Thurgate is 23. So this is a moment that they will remember further on in their career when they get through this. So this is what we're having to deal with at the moment. We've gone for a younger squad. And there's going to be difficult moments, and they have to work through that, and I'm sure they will. I've got total trust and faith that they'll work through this. They're quality players, and once they start scoring, they'll keep on scoring, because it's different when you're an experienced player and a little bit older, and you've had your games or your moments that you've gone through difficult times. You know how to work through it. A lot of these players haven't dealt with this before.
And in terms of the health and fitness of your squad, do you have any players that have picked up knocks that won't be able to feature against Brisbane?
Yeah, Nikita Rukavica will be out for a period of time. He hurt his calf just the other day, so he's out. Donachie will probably still miss out because he's only trained with us this week in full and probably not quite ready yet. They're the only two at the moment.
We are approaching January. Are you looking at maybe potential free agents or loan additions for January, about areas of the squad you'd like to plug?
Yeah, that's something that we have to see as a club if we're able to do that or not.
When you say if you're able to do that, it means that if you have the space in the cap, you have the budget to do that.
We've got space in the cap. It's whether we have the budget to do it.